talk a little yoga, all right? So very common pose, one of the most common poses in yoga is that downward dog. Lots of benefits with down dog. Stabilization of the shoulder, the rib cage, the erector spinae muscles along that column, the hamstrings, calves, and just good old-fashioned core. So when you're typically doing the downward dog, and where most people are having difficulty, is that elongation, that nice two straight lines of the lower quadrant and upper quadrant hinging at that hip. What we'll often see with tight postures is a down dog up on the toes, bent knees, or a really rounded back. What we're really looking to do is keep those heels down, get that elongation, and really drop in, kind of lift that tail. So that's a problem spot. A lot of people don't quite get that little pelvic tilt, anterior tilt motion for that down dog. So we're going to use the grid to help us out. So now I have different gauges here. Remember, those little bones that you can kind of palpate. Even with people who are overweight or have extra mass in that midsection area, you can always even lift up tissue. And if you find those little bumpy bones up underneath those folds, right there is where we're going to hook that band. So I'm going to put that band, in this case I'm going to use the black one. Now if I want more pull, I'm going to use a thicker band. Now some people, that might be a little bit rough on their, if they're a bony phenotype. What we can do here is add a little pad around the band if we need a little extra cushion. Most of us don't need extra cushion. So I'm going to put that right up underneath. Now I'm going to pull myself into that down dog. Now I get as if that instructor's coming back and pulling on my hips and helping me out. There's that nice elongation. If I feel like my shoulders aren't strong enough, or let's say I'm getting over a shoulder injury, but I really miss my yoga, I might need to do a little bit more support, or a lot more support to take the load off the shoulders, but still get that lower quadrant stretched. Boy, it's almost hard to get to the ground here. So boy, that really pulls me up, and locking those legs out, really getting that nice extension, stay in that down dog until I feel like I'm getting some release. Work on the breathing component. Surrender to the love. If down dog is too much for people, well, you still have that hang. A lot of people can't stretch their hamstrings because in bending forward, they either have to unlock their knees or they have the sense that they're going to fall. People with poor balance have trouble stretching and elongating and relaxing their postures because that fear of falling stiffens everything up. So now it's almost hard to fall. I'm trying. It's not going anywhere. So this is a great assistance for just that old-fashioned hamstring stretch. Just going to hang on the legs, back myself up, butt on the wall, and just hang out. Ah, it's lovely. No pressure on the bones of the hips. You want to get some fancy pads in there. Bigger roll towel, bath towel, whatever you like. In terms of how long to hold a stretch, research kind of waxes and wanes on the perfect timing. I'm of the school, when you feel it relax, when you feel like you can surrender into that moment, breathe into it and get a sense of elongation. Put your mind's eye into that surrendering of those muscle fibers and those target sites. That's when you get your stretch. Coming out of the stretch is every bit as important, if not more, than getting into the stretch. So how you get out of a problem is sometimes more important than how you got in, and that's a metaphor for life there. So just like with stretching, don't just jerk yourself up. Take your time. Inhale on the way up, exhale, walk yourself up, make sure you get the band, and ease yourself out. The longer you're in that stretch, the slower you should come out of it.